Wish you all a very good morning once again, dear students. I think you all can hear me. Right. So last week we discussed about this point, the fourth requirement. What are the examples of human needs? Right? Examples of human needs. Right, Putha? Let me move to the slide. Okay, Putha. I'll come back to this later. Puthe, according to your grade 10 syllabus, right, we have to recognize the following characteristics or following examples under the human needs. So before I explain, let me tell you, Buddha, without satisfying these things, right, someone is said that he can't be survived. Okay, it is important for you to have them, right, to spend, right, a comfortable life. First one, food. I think you know that no one can live without food. So Putha, please write these things right in here, right, in the respective, under the respective right thing, right? Food is the first one, first need. Second need is clothing, right? So write down the second one, clothing. So these are the examples of needs. So please note that I am not telling you the wants here, right? Food is the need, wants are different. I think I gave you a homework as well. Let's see how well you have done it. Third, housing. Sometimes you can call this as shelter also. Shelter. Housing or draw a slash and write shelter. Shelter. Fourth need is education, Putha. Do you understand? Without a proper education, or let me tell you like this way, right? Obtaining, right, a considerable education is a human need. It is the fourth one. And the fifth is health. Health. Right? Health. Number 6, security. Right? As children, you need the security of your parents. Okay? In school, you need the security of teachers. Okay? In a private, right, firm, right, that particular security is looking after by security guards, Sri Lankan police, Sri Lankan army, security, right? And the next is transport. We all should have a proper method to transport from one place to another. It is also a human need, transport. Next is communication. We should have a proper technique of communicating with each other. All are human needs. Here, I'm not highlighting the wants. Human needs. Communication. Right? The next is entertainment. Another powerful human need. That is why we have, right, musical shows, movies, cricket matches, football matches, right, songs. That is for the entertainment purpose. Remember, even that is a human need. Ashen, can you see this slide, Putha? Can I get a small feedback? Triptika, can you see the slide? Right, okay, good. And the last one, love, right? You need the love of your parents, your siblings, sometimes your friends. Everyone needs love. Okay. So these are the human needs that we have to highlight. But in your textbook, the 10th one is not there, right? But I just want to tell you, even love is a human need. Pute, have you written this? Right. In your notebook, right, Puta. In your tutorial, then I have given you this one, right? Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? So this is the right clip art version of him, his photo, right? He looks like this, right? Of course, Puta. He's a psychologist, right? I think his description is here, right? He introduced a hierarchy of human needs, right? And he introduced kind of theories of this particular, regarding this particular hierarchy of needs. Puta, do you know, this hierarchy is starting from the bottom. Right? Starting from the bottom. Let me explain with the slide. Puta lahagan. First he told that every human needs to satisfy these basic human needs. May balana okkama basic deval තියෙන්නේ. Air, water, food, shelter, sleep, clothing, and reproduction. Right? Here the reproduction means, right, sex. Okay. So it is a psychological need. All these are psychological needs. Everyone who lives on earth, right, have these needs. Air, water, food, shelter, and so on. Okay. So he told that in the beginning, right, in the beginning, everybody wants to satisfy these needs. After satisfying them, right, that human moves to the second step, safety needs, personal security, and he need an employment with, right, security. Here the means අපි කියනවා එකට job security කියලා. It means that his earnings have to be secured, and resources, right? He must have enough cash to spend, and health, property. So after achieving the psychological needs, human needs move to the second one, safety needs. And after that, right, he moved to, right, the third one, love and belongings, friendship, intimacy, family, sense of connection. That is why we need friends. We need social connections. We need a family. For a moment, right, think whether you can stay without your family. Can you ever do that? No, we can't. So we have moved to the third one also. And after achieving, right, this set of needs, we move to the fourth step, esteem. This is where we demand respect. Today, to be honest, right, even in my school, when I am, let's say, as teachers, we have to correct the kids, right? අපි දරුවන්ට නිවැරදි දේ කියලා දෙන්න. But when I'm doing that, I'm very careful, because I am, right, not putting down at least a single student. Okay, I can't do that. Although I am a teacher, when I'm scolding a student, I can't put him down physically or mentally. I need to respect them. Although you are younger than me, even when I'm scolding you, I have to respect them. Because everyone has a self-esteem. and status. Recognition, everybody requires recognition in the society. Strength, and everybody loves freedom. Okay, now these are the the fourth set of human needs according to the Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And after achieving them, he moves to the last one, self-actualization. The meaning is desire to become the most that one can be. Most that one can be. It means, let's say, at the end of the, after achieving all these needs, he wants to become, let's say, a politician, a good one, okay, not a bad politician, a good politician, self-actualization. Someone wants to become a renowned businessman, self-actualization. Somebody wants to become an actor, a singer, a cricketer, self-actualization. Desire to become the most that one can be. So, Puta, this is how he explained the human needs. See how nice and practical his theory is. Okay, so Puta, write down this note here with the normal pen. Example. According to Maslow's hierarchy of needs, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, a person wants to satisfy, a person wants to satisfy his basic set of needs in the beginning. In the beginning. After that, he moves to safety, love and belonging needs, self-esteem needs, and self-actualization at the end. At the end. Right. Have you written it? එහෙනම් අපි යමු ආපහු slide එකට. Right, Puta. Very good. Right. Now let's move to the ඔන්න අපි මේකට එනවා. හරි? Right, Puta. දැන් බලන්න පුතාලා මේ ටික ලියලා තියෙන්නේ කියලා මේ ටික ලියලා නැත්නම් if you have not written the followings, you can write it when you watch the recorded session. Puta, First one, needs and wants. I have given you a table here. Let me show you the table again, right? Needs and the different ways of satisfying those needs. Right? So this is what I have collected. Food, it's a need. Here I have a set of wants. Rice and curry, pittu, dosai, hoppers, ice cream, chocolate, and fruit juice. Okay, check your answers. There, the wants are the different ways of satisfying here the human needs. Second, clothing. Puta, sari, trouser, sarong, blouse, skirt, shoes, hats, t-shirts. You can include anything you like, right? Clothing. Next is, right? Third is housing. Different, levels of houses where people choose to live. See, apartments, bungalow, boarding houses, caves. See, different techniques of housing. If you have not written anything, once again, children, you can watch the recorded session and later you can write it. Okay. So the next is, right, education. So under education, we have different things. School. Now you are attending a tuition class. I'm actually with you. Book and internet. See, how many methods, how many wants are there to get, right, to satisfy the human needs. There may be some other answers also, right? The next is health. These days, this matters a lot, right? Health. Puta. The first one, hospitals, the doctors, PHI, right? Public health inspector. I think you know him. Nurses, right? Then we have security. Security guards, insurance, parents, right? Sometimes the teachers, elders, okay? Security. Next is, right, transport. How many methods are there? Motor vans, motor cars, buses, right? Aeroplanes, trains, and ships. See, these are the different methods of transportation. Are we clear? Next, communication. Communication. How many techniques are there? Right? Mobile phones, emails, social media, newspapers, different methods of human communication. Check your answers with mine. And the last is entertainment. See, how many techniques of entertainments are there? We have a lot. Movies, dramas, cricket matches, musical shows. For you, sometimes if you are playing video games, right? So it's another method of entertainment. But please don't be addicted to that, right? He have found the needs and wants. Are we clear? Are we clear? Right. Let's move to love. Parents, siblings, friends, husband and wife. These are the different method of, right, satisfying the need of love. I have not kept a space there, but it is better if you can write it down later. Right, Pute? Let's move to the next tutorial now. So you can watch the recorded session and write down anything if you have missed. Okay, let me check whether the video is working. No, not yet. Right, Puta? So it is the end of the first tutorial. We are moving to the second. Pute, Can you remember the definition of business? Business definition? Can someone tell me? Please send me the answer. How do you define business? Anyone? How do you define business? Ashen, Shenuk, Triptika, how do you define business, Puti? No one can remember. Any economic activity which produces or provides. Yes, Ashen, very good. Any economic activity which produces and provides, right, goods and services to satisfy human needs. Puta, in the definition, so far we have defined economic activities, human needs and wants. I told you there are two economic activities, production and providing. Then we discussed about the needs and wants, and we have not discussed the goods and services yet. We are discussing that today. Puta, children, now please write this down in the respective places. Harida, Pute. Do you know businesses can be classified according to the nature of the product it produces? I repeat, business can classify according to the nature of the product it produced. Pute, this is how we do it. Then balagin. Business is right? So we have started the lesson even before you receive the textbook. So please go through them very carefully. Once again, business can be classified according to the product it produces. First, there are commodity manufacturing businesses. Write this down. First, commodity manufacturing businesses. Commodity manufacturing businesses. Second, service providing businesses. The two types of businesses are commodity manufacturing businesses and service providing businesses. Commodity manufacturing and service providing. Puta, commodity manufacturing businesses always produces a good liyaganna. Onna pencil liyaganna puta. Produces a good yati. With a pencil, write this down. Commodity manufacturing businesses produces goods. Goods. Or this is the best way of recognizing the goods and services. And service providing businesses provides a service with a pencil. Pencil and liyagan. So when you draw this particular flowchart, you don't want to include these two. If you are asked to classify the business according to the product, you have to draw the first one only. I mean business, that is commodity manufacturing business and service providing. Don't write these two. Anyway, I just want to tell you that commodity manufacturing business produces a good, while service providing business is producing a service. Right. I think you have written here, right? Puta, can you answer the sixth activity within 2 minutes? Hurry up. Answer the sixth activity within 2 minutes and send me the answers that you all have written. Puta, onnamang uttara keepayak denawa, right? Remember, all these businesses are producing a physical good. Nebala. Very good, Ashen. Very good. SLT, Sri Lanka Telecom, is it producing a good, a physical good? No, neither. Huh? It provides a service. Sri Lanka Telecom provides a service. බලාගන්න පුතා. මේ තියෙන්නේ. Bata produces footwear. Then Rosel produces tiles. මේ බලන්න පුතා කොච්චර දේවල් තියෙනවද කියලා. Then Nestle produces food and beverages. Food and beverages. Yes, DSI, right? Then Munchie, biscuits, and Brandix, garments. See, all these are commodity manufacturing businesses. Okay, they produce us a physical good. We can, something that we can see, something that we can see, right? ඔන්න තියෙනවා පුතා commodity manufacturing businesses. All these things produces something that we can see, physically feel. Neither something that we can touch. What about this? Service providing business in Sri Lanka. Write them down. Keel Super, remember, it's a service providing. It is not producing a product. It sells what it has been produced. Am I clear with you? Keel Super is not producing anything, right? But it sells something which have been produced by another business. That is how Keel Super become a service providing business. හොඳට අහගන්න. Retail business, ඒ කියන්නේ පුතා, let's say that the shop that you attend, ඔයා ලග්ගේ ළඟ තියෙන කඩේට ගියාම, right? When you purchase 1 kilo of sugar, it is not, that particular shop is not a commodity manufacturing business, because that business didn't produce the sugar. Am I clear with you? So it provides a service. So remember, all the retail businesses are service providing businesses. Note that down somewhere, something very important. Retail businesses are service providing business. Right? Keel Super is a retail business. Fair First, insurance facilities. Write this down. Fair First insurance facilities. Third, Hemas, healthcare. We have right number of hospitals, right? They produce medicines, healthcare. HNB, it provides you with the banking facilities. Banking facilities. SLIT, education, it is a private university. So it provides, right, the service of education. None of these businesses is producing a physical good. None of these businesses produces a physical good. It just provide a service. It just provide a service. Are we clear? Right, good. Let's move to, right, ඔන්න අපි එනවා ඊළඟ definition එකට. So far we have defined, අහගන්න පැටියෝ, we have defined business, we have defined human needs, we have defined human wants. Here we are moving to the third one, goods. හරිද? මේක පැටියෝ ඔයා ලියන්න ඕන මෙන්න මෙතන. Right? Okay, I think you all have written the service providing businesses here. Definition of goods is written here. Later I'll be explaining the characteristics. They have to be written here. ලස්සන්ට ලියා ගන්න, පාඩම් කරගන්න දැම්මම. තව දෙයක්. අද මේකින් පස්සේ අපි අර online exam එක තියෙනවා විනාඩි 10යි යන්නේ. පුතාලා හැම කෙනෙක්ම උත්තර දීලා යන්න ඕනේ. හරි? Those who are watching the recorded session, I will keep the Those who have not attended the live class, right, they can answer that paper, right, in any time you like within today. Okay, good. Let's move to the definition of good. Goods are the material items that can be seen, touched, or felt and are ready for sale to the customers. Puta, write this definition with the red pen. Goods are the material items that can be seen, touched, or felt and are ready for sale to the customers. Write this down today. This is how you define goods. This is how you define goods. Write it down. Okay. Write this down. Goods are the material items that can be seen, touched, or felt. Or the products that can be seen, touched, or felt. Now, the characteristics. Balambuta goods the characteristics, right? First one, tangible. It means, write this down. The first one is tangible. Goods can be touched. It's the first one. Goods are tangible. Tangible. Second, can be returned. Puta, if you don't want a product, I mean a good, you can return it. Okay. But think for a moment. Can you do it for a service? Can you do that for a service? Can I get your ideas? Can you return a service? Can you return a service? No, we can't. No, we can't. Huh? But the goods can be returned. Puta, shall I tell you something? Today, not day before yesterday, I went with my family. I went on shopping, and I purchased 4 shirts for me, right? But when I wear them at home, right, it is the size is little bit large for me. So today I'm going to exchange them. So please note that the goods can be returned. Goods can be returned. Third characteristic, can be separated from the seller. First, write this down. I'll explain it later. It says that the goods can be separated from the seller. Is that true? Yes, of course. For an example, when you have purchased, let me say, when you have purchased, let's say, a packet of rice from that producer, right, the good is separated from the seller. Do you understand? The good is separated from the seller. When you have purchased goods from Keel Super, right, those goods are separated from the seller. But in a service, we can't recognize it. Third one, can be separated from the seller. Fourth, can be stored. You can store the physical, the physical goods. You can store them. You can store sugar. You can store rice. You can store flour. You can store shirts, t-shirts. You can store them. But the services cannot be stored. Okay, children? And the next is fifth, ownership is transferred. When you have purchased once again that 1 kilo of sugar, right? Until you purchase it, the ownership of the sugar is with the shopkeeper. But once you have purchased that sugar, ownership is transferred. from the seller to the buyer. Fifth one, ownership is transferred. Sixth, evaluation is simple. Make a පොඩ්ඩක් විතර අමාරුයි අහගන්න. Evaluation. You can easily say whether you like this product or dislike it. I mean a good. Okay, it tastes nicely. Huh? For an example, let's say you have chosen a packet of biscuit. Right? If you don't like it, you can easily say, right, I don't like it. Evaluation is so simple. Number 7, time gap between the production and consumption. Right? Let me tell you this. There is a time gap between production and consumption. It means production is taking place in different time. For an example, if you see, right, a milk packet. When you purchase a milk packet, they include the date of manufacturing. No? But it has been manufactured, let's say, 6 or 7 days ago. And you are consuming it today. Let me tell you another one, right? When you purchase, let's say, a soft drink bottle, sometimes it has been produced months ago, but you're consuming it now. That is what you mean by time gap between production and consumption. Children, but we don't have this in a service. The production and the consumption should be appeared at the same time. For an example, when your teacher teaches in school, he is producing the service at the same moment and you are consuming it at the same moment. So write this down. These are the characteristics of goods. ලස්සනට ලියා ගන්න පුතා. හැම දෙයක්ම මේක 100% 100% accurate note. Just go through it. Okay. Next, services definition. Services are facilities, benefits, or help provided by other people. It's a very simple definition. Facilities, benefits, or help provided by other people. This definition of service. This has to be written here. Definition of the service. Definition of service. Services are facilities, benefits, or help provided by other people. හරිද? Now let's move to the characteristics. පුතා ඔයා මතක තියාගන්න, if you study only the one set of characteristics, you can easily decide the others. බලන්න පුතේ. First one, intangible. Goods were tangible, services intangible. First characteristic of a service, intangible. It means you can't touch them. Now, for an example, here I am providing you with a service. Can you touch it? No, you can't touch it. Therefore, services are intangible. Second, cannot be returned. Can you ever return a service? You are going into a bank. Can you ever return that service that is provided by the bank? No, you can't. See, just be practical. I told you, this is a practical subject. මේක බොහොම ප්‍රායෝගික subject එකක්, විෂයක්. It cannot be returned. Third, cannot be separated from the seller. Here, I am providing you a service. Can you separate this service from me? No, you can't. It is with the seller. Third characteristic, cannot be separated from the seller. Cannot be separated from the seller. Fourth, cannot be stored. Although you can store a good, you cannot store a service. But remember, right, as the technology has developed, this thing can be achieved for some services today. For an example, teaching. Puta, this session is recorded. Do you see? This session is recorded. So it means that it can be stored. But generally, services are recognized or identified as items which cannot be stored. Services cannot be stored. Fifth, ownership is not transferred. Ownership is not transferred, not like the goods. Goods, ownership was transferred, but services, ownership is not transferred. Sixth, evaluation is complicated. Evaluation is complicated because sometimes, right, the same service, it is recognized or it is evaluated by people, right, in different ways, Puta. That is what you mean by evaluation is complicated, not like in the goods. For goods, evaluation is simple, but for services, evaluation is complicated. And the last, production and the consumption occurs at the same time. But for you three, the production of this service and the consumption at the same time occurs at the same time. Right? But for the students who have not attended the session today, right, this one is not applicable for them because they will watch a recorded session. But generally, for services, production and the consumption should be occurred at the same time, children. Same time. එකම දවසේ වෙන්න. එකම වෙලාවෙ වෙන්න. These are the characteristics of services. Have you done? Ashane? Shenuk? Triptika? Have you written them, Pute? Yes, very good. Very good. So, Puta, my advice is when you get the when you watch the recorded session, when you get the recorded session, please watch it at least 2 or 3 times. It is an added advantage of an online class. Right. Let's move to the tutorial. So we have discussed about the definition of goods, characteristics, definition of service and its characteristics. Right. Quickly answer activity number 8. Answer activity number 8. You have to say whether is it a commodity manufacturing or service providing business. Start it now. You have 2 minutes. Take your answers, please. Cinema hall, service providing. It doesn't produce a product. Wholesale business, service providing business. Because once again, wholesale business doesn't produce a product. It just exchange the products between the produce and the retail. Wholesale business, it is a service providing business. Next is bakery. It is a commodity manufacturing business. Bakery is a commodity manufacturing business. Commodity manufacturing business. Restaurant, again, a service providing business. Service providing business. Right? Retail business, service providing business. Okay. Chocolate factory, commodity manufacturing business. Commodity manufacturing business. Tuition class, service providing business. Harida, right. Now, I'm taking your knowledge to another dimension of right, the lesson. But although these are not available in the textbook, I think that it will be useful for you. Pute, what are the factors to be considered in introducing a new product to the market? Let's say that you are introducing a new product to the market. What are the factors that you have to consider? First, level of income of the public. Level of income. First one, we have to check, right? It can't be highly cost. So the level of income has to be considered. Level of income. Okay. Right. Second, willingness of consumers. Willingness of consumers. You have to check whether the consumers like it. Willingness of consumers. Okay. Putala. Third is social conditions. Social conditions. Right? Next, rules and regulations of the country. In some countries, you can't produce different types of products. Right? You can't produce different types of products. So you have to look into the rules and regulations of the country or the state. Hari? Right. Right, Puta? Now, these are the factors to be considered in introducing a new product to the market. Putala, ilanga prashne bala. Ilanga prashne. What is the common name used for goods and services? Liyagan, ratu panel liyagan. Product. Product. The answer for question number 10 is product. product. Okay, product. Right? Let's move to the next one. Practical in providing some services, it has to use some goods. Evaluate the above statement using an example. Slide goods have to be used in providing some services. Teaching. I'm providing you with a service. But do you know, I can't provide it without using the goods. Right? We need a whiteboard, especially when you taught at the school. You need a whiteboard. Whiteboard whiteboard should be there. Is the first one. Second, we need whiteboard markers and eraser. Right? And sometimes, right, we need books, tutorials. And also we need, right, now here, if you have seen, right, when the video is there, I'm using a microphone to talk to you. Even in some big classes, they're using microphones. It's also a good. And the next is Puta. We have multimedia. See? Multimedia what a right. Now you have to write this down in the space. With the normal pen. Write this down. In providing some services, it has to use different types of goods. Different types of goods. For example, in providing the service of teaching, it has to use a whiteboard, comma, whiteboard markers, books or tutorials, books or tutorials, multimedia, multimedia, right? හරිද පුතේ? So දැන් අහගන්නකෝ, not only for teaching, right? Not only for teaching, in providing some services, doctors, huh? They use different types of goods, right? Am I clear with you? In a cinema hall, they use different types of goods. So sometimes you can't ever produce a service without goods. It's a practical question. Right, Pudha? Good. Let's move to the next topic. Next question, in fact. As most of the commodity manufacturing businesses uses capital items, they are also called as capital intensive businesses, business organizations. Evaluate the above statement. Do you know, Pute, most of the commodity manufacturing businesses are using capital items. Harida, capital items පාවිච්චි කරනවා. So first, let's see, what do we mean by a capital intensive business? මෙන්න මේක ලියාගන්න මුලින්ම රතු පෑනෙන් ලියාගන්න with the red pen. Capital intensive businesses means a business which uses more capital resources like machinery and factories in their production. Machinery and factories in their production. ලියාගන්න. Please use a red pen. Machinery and factories in their production. හරිද ළමයි? This is what you mean by a capital intensive business. If the business is using more capital resources, machineries, factories, they are called as, right, capital intensive business. With a normal pen, write this now. As commodity manufacturing business are targeting large scale production, it uses a lot of capital resources in their production. That is why we say that the commodity manufacturing businesses are capital intensive. With the normal pen in the same space. Okay. Right. Then කල්පනා කරලා බලන්න මේක හරි නේද කියලා පුතේ. Think about a bakery. How many capital, right? How many machines they use? How many machines they use? Think about Nestle. How many factories they have? Bata. How many factories they have? How many machines they have? More than the labor, they use, right, machines. That is why we call that the commodity manufacturing business are capital intensive. Now the next one. Do you know the answer for the next one? Most of the service providing businesses are labor intensive. Then what is labor intensive business? With the red pen, write this down. Labor intensive businesses means a business which needs a large amount of labor in their production. they need a large amount of labor in their production. In a school, right, we need more human resources than capital. We need a lot of teachers. A machine can't do it. Most of the service providing businesses are labor intensive businesses. Labor intensive. Then you write this down. Most of the service providing businesses are labor intensive businesses because of this case. Why? They have to, right, deal with the consumers face to face. So machines can't do it. Okay. Most of the service providing businesses are labor intensive businesses. Recently, I went to, I think you all have heard that, 9 Wells Hospital. 9 Wells, which is located at Narayanpeta with my kid, right? So I was, right, I saw, right, how many employees are working in there. Employees lagan. It's a service providing business. The security guards. At the entrance, they are using a technique. We have to fill a form before we enter there. At the reception, there are 2 different receptions there. In the billing center and the service staff, the nurses, the attendants. A lot of human resources is used in that particular business. That is why we say, right, most of the service providing businesses are labor intensive. Now, children, you have a homework. The last question of the day. You have to think and answer 4 businesses which manufactures both goods and services. Therefore, this business has to produce a good, and also it has to produce a service. Can you do that? Yes. Right. Enam padiyo. Menna ada dawase pada. Now listen to me very carefully. Yeah. Putalahagan. Those who are watching the record session 2. Now this will be the last session for this month, because next week Christmas, no? Ehinda puta, we are normally taking a leave on Christmas week, because even I have to attend for some get-togethers, right? Therefore, is that all right to have a break on the next week, children? Ashen, Triptika, Shenuk. All right. So please inform your parents that we have no classes on next week, right? So again, we will meet on, we will be meeting again on next year, in fact, with a new energy, with new techniques. We will meet again on the next year. Okay. And once again, I will send you the deposit details, which I have not sent to the group yet. So I'll be sending you the things. I think that you have learned something out of this session, Putala. And if you have any of your friends in the next year, they will definitely look into a class, and please recommend this class. And please tell them that we are doing a huge work here. Okay, children? So until we meet again on next year, stay safe and God bless you. Thank you very much.